Okay, so I went on TikTok for a few minutes to see if I could see anything going on. There was a couple things I saw. So on somebody was sharing a tweet. So a little while ago, um, a base in Georgia that they all got notified that they needed to be on the base at 6 a.m. They needed to be packed. They needed to tell their families that they needed flashlights, candles. It was like 5 things. And they didn't tell the people where they were going. They just told them to be on the base at 6 a.m., which it's 4 now, so it's around 6 there. Let's see if it's 4 here. That'd be East Coast in Georgia. So it'd be like 7. So it's so weird. So weird when it's like, I don't know. I just feel like it's different realities. I'm telling you, there's something more going on than it's like, man, it's hard to explain. That one map that I saw the other day, it just really struck me because I have thought that for so long when we're flying around and stuff, that it's just bullshit. When you look out, it looks like things are backdrops. In order to get to the thing, like you could drive and drive and drive and drive, but as we're driving, it's like we're creating it. We're putting it there because we have a destination that we're focused on. And it's trippy too. It's like you can get to a destination and things have changed. Things have changed. New people have moved in. A new store is here. Like it's and I said this on a TikTok, and I had a comment this morning. That's why it's on my mind. Is because somebody was like, they wanted to see this video I was talking about with this map, because in this map it showed like these continents, but it was more like like when you see a mountain and where there's villages going up the side of the mountain. It kind of looked more like that, where it was like, that makes more sense to me because we're in these realms. We're in these, and I know, there's a lot by water and stuff, but, I don't know. There's something weird about it. That's all I know. There's weird things. There's things that don't make any sense. And I just know that the world is like realms, and it's based on your vibration in order to move through the realms. And it's strange because confirmation, people are waking up in this one, but it's weird that the state of mind they're waking up in. Like, I just saw this scientist who was just totally freaking out. He couldn't believe it. He's like, he was always believed in science, and he believed in all these, things and cells and stuff like that. He's going through those stuff. And then I think he was saying the thing that got him was when he started realizing that your body won't accept other people's parts and cells and stuff, that your body rejects them, that your body has already, it's a set thing. And he goes through and he's explaining all this stuff. And he starts talking about quantum and everything, but just his profound, oh my God, you guys, like, we're really spiritual. Like, there's a really spiritual thing going on. It's like, yeah, it's just wild, because I know a lot of people are just waking up to that, and I don't even know what that would be like, because it was never something I just woke up to. It was something that I knew from the beginning. And then what people would try and tell me, like through religion and stuff, what it was, and I was like, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. The first time when I actually found where this was more in alignment with me was definitely the Celestine prophecy and reincarnation. That is when, reading reincarnation, and then, and it's taken a long time for a lot of the stuff to come out, because it was like stifled. We were laughing stock. We were the hidden truth. And even when you try and talk to people, just like, I wasn't going on I wasn't fucking David Icke or something. I was just talking to people, in my orbit. And you were always just wacky, and, husband, I mean, he was, I don't know, he would try and I don't know, buying into it is what I hear loud in my head. He went and got me this giant Buddha statue, and I set it out front. Like I said, I wore my little Buddha necklace because it was tiring after, when people kept saying, I don't remember how it would be, like, what church do you go to? And, well, I don't go to church. You don't go to church? What do you mean you don't go to church? You don't believe in God? Yeah, I believe in God. Well, how do you believe? What are you talking about? Well, I believe in spirituality. I believe in the universe. I believe in, whatever I would say. Usually reincarnation would come in there. I believe we're spirits. We're born over and over. We're here experiencing and learning and growing and stuff. And then I would always be like, no, it would be like they would just think I was so weird. I mean, it sounds like absurd right now, but, and that's what, another thing that blows my mind is all these people who acted this certain way. Like, what is this? How are you guys reacting to this now? All you people who were making fun of people like me, who were talking down to us and telling us we were crazy. Now, how you feeling? That's what I want to know. How you feeling now? And, but, we were bullied. We were the acceptable bully people. And then especially if you tried to talk rational to people or get people to see things that they didn't want to see. And it was just like, like you think you're so smart, you think you're so great, you think you know it all or something, It's like, no, but you guys aren't paying attention. You guys don't see shit. Like, it's very limiting to not understand that you're a spiritual being in this place. Like, very limiting. And so, this has been a huge transition to watch, but and then plus to watch how it goes into ego, and these people just become like they're the saviors of the planet and stuff, and they haven't even looked into spirituality, haven't even read a book or anything about it. And I think a lot of them read Dolores Cannon, and it's to the point now where it's like, I don't know. Like, I just saw a whole video done on NPCs, and I think that comes from some stuff out of her videos too, where people really bought onto that. It's like, you guys, there's not fucking souls walking around that are not powered. Even ghosts are powered by energy. Like, there's not people just walking around. No, it's a disconnect in the person. It's when they're in their lower chakra. And I saw this guy, because when you're in your lower chakras, you're on autopilot. You're going through life reacting to just what happens to you. That happens, you react. That happens, you react. You're not living your best because you are not the one making choices. You're just reacting to what happens because it's a victim mentality. And you have to, that's where you change timelines, is when you take yourself out of victim mentality and you put yourself onto empowerment, onto, I'm a warrior, I make my own decisions, I'm in charge of my life, I take care of myself. It's like a different path. And there's the awakening that has to occur in order to pull into empowerment, and you have to let go of so much stuff. I saw this video yesterday and I thought this is interesting because, I've been talking about this stuff, I've been explaining it, and then anytime I see someone talking about it, to me it's like confirmation. Just like that girl who saw the Men in Black and she did that same energetic blowout, and I was like, okay, I am not just a crazy person. There cannot be these things happening to other people. Like, always look for crossover. And like, I started explaining about the dark energy. They were making it really clear to me. I can remember one of the times, because I was walking with the daughter who hasn't talked to me in a long time. We were out walking our dogs, and we were by the river, and we were in Spokane. So I don't know if she was already in college, and she came for a visit, and she would come and stay with me, and we would hang out and go for walks, or if this is before she went, I'm not sure, but we were out by the river. And so it would have to be around 2050, because then so much was opening up to me. Once I had gone through my dark night and started getting off of the drugs, because the drugs, I think, are to control you from the inside. Once I started getting off of those and the weed, once I started using that, it connected it to a place that I was already connected to, but it cleared the path. It was like it just opened up, and I was like, oh, hey, you guys, hey. You know, it was just suddenly, it was just there. It was so open. And that was before I even did my crown chakra. I still had to go up the chakras. You know, and that was a whole movement. It was tripping me out. Because that, you know, I had even started talking to that group I was in. I was like, you know, what, do you know what's going on? My whole body's vibrating. I don't know what's going on. And that's when somebody said, you're probably having a Kundalini awakening. And I was like, you know, there's so many of these things I didn't even know what they were. Never even heard of them. And so let me think. So so I got to jump back to where, so the Kundalini awakening, and so being able to hear all these things and then having it move up through me, and it was like a huge vibration. Like it was so trippy. But it was when I was out walking this one day, and I was having this conversation, and they had already showed me, but it was like a reminder or something. And it was like, the visual was like we're walking through sludge. Like there's just this sludge, this energetic, dark sludge. Like we're walking through this swampy sludge, if we could really see what was really here energetically. And it's very dark and thick. And it will grab you and hold on to you. You got to pull yourself free. But there's people who like that feeling. They sink into that feeling. They become a part of that dark energy. And so, anyways, this girl that I saw yesterday on this video, because, you know, when they were showing me this stuff is when I started seeing, like, about the dark energy, about how it holds on to you, how that is, it feeds off of you. It's like, you know, like where kids think that they get these, their drop dead Fred, you know, their friend that nobody else can see. Can't think of that. Imaginary friend. And the imaginary friend isn't really, I mean, it's a real thing. It's a real energy that attaches to your kid. And so, and a lot of kids attach to, I mean, everybody gets these attachments when they're little because they're there. And that probably is a part of why so many kids start forgetting the truth, is because that dark energy. And so, this girl, so she was talking and she said, you know, I never talk about this. I never say anything about this, but, you know, it's time for me to start speaking up. And a lot of people, like your guides, will start pushing you, just like they did me. You know, in mine, they turned on the lights even, like, come on, you're getting up. But mine, I have a different relationship with mine. So, anyways, this girl felt like she was really pushed and led to start speaking about more real stuff or spiritual stuff or something. And so she said, I want to talk about this dark energy thing. And I think that they're called the Archon or something like that. The Archons is some sort of dark energy. I don't know. You can look it up. But I think that, and I'm thinking, because when I hear about those Archon things, and when I think about like what I see, then it seems like it fits. So, you know, I know, and I think Stephen Greer, even in his disclosure documents, talks something about these archons or something. And so what she says is that when you're a kid, that this happens, you know, to everybody when they're a kid. And so you have some kind of trauma, some kind of problem, and this energy comes to your rescue. So, and see how it attaches to that emotion. So you're in trauma, you're a kid, you feel alone, you're so confused. What am I doing here? I hate my parents. I hate my life. Why am I here? Nobody cares about me. You know, you get in this energy, and this energy, you know, comes to your rescue. Oh, Drop Dead Fred's here. I'm here to save you. And so they start feeding off of that energy. You are feeding them because they live off of despair and sadness, and that's their fruit of choice, and that's what keeps them going. It's how they survive. Is that's their that energy. And to me, how I always see it, because I know a lot of people see this as like demons and they're so smart and they're outsmarting us and stuff. No, they are very defined in their own energy of an emotion. They're just an emotion feeding off of this emotion. And they are parasitic. They are, in a sense, you could look at it on one level as manipulative, but on another, they are just trying to survive. They are, so they're feeding you information to enhance their survival. So it's like a parasitic energy if you have no awareness. Everything has to do with your conscious awareness. And it's important to shift your conscious awareness towards spirituality and out of 3D, because 3D is very limiting. They have these things feeding off of you and not knowing why. You're the victim. You're, poor you. And so you have to shift your mind so that you can understand this stuff. So she's saying that these dark energies attach to you and that they feed off of you. And she said, it's fine. Especially when you're a kid, they're there for you. They talk you through things. And, you feel like you really have a partner or something, a friend. And, but, it's this energy. And so she said, but then as you get older and you start trying to make relationships, they start interfering. They start, getting in the way. They start causing problems to keep you in this state of mind where you are feeding them. They don't want you to get better. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to move on. They want to keep you where you are. And that's where I say is it becomes a problem. And dark energies can really get bigger and dark, especially when people don't understand and they follow impulses. And right now there is so much, oh my God, there is so much chaos going, and it keeps being people that don't speak English. These people are here for a reason. And it's, it doesn't have to be that they're going to take up arms and put on uniforms and march in our streets. Look at how much chaos that they can go out just causing wrecks and running into people's houses, running through stores, stabbing everybody in sight. All this stuff this is what I said was going to be happening. So, this is what's going on. And it's like everything is like, how long is it going to drag on, man? I don't know. I'm shocked that we're having another winter. like this is insane. So, anyways, so she was saying this dark energy attaches to you, and it's all fine and good until you start trying to do better. And then it tries to hold you back so you can't move forward. And that's when you go into this battle with your dark energy. And so that's what I'm always saying. This is your battle with your demons. This is your battle with, your comfort zone. It's breaking free. And breaking free from some strong energies, depending on how many, you have attached to you and how much you've built them, how much you've fed them. So they can be very overwhelming, and they're there to stay surviving. And so she said this was sad because she's trying to tell you how to kill them, which I just am not, kill an energy kind of thing. It's, I don't think you can kill an energy. It's, I don't know. I don't think you can kill an energy, but, but you have to not give it a place to rest, not give it a home. You got to change your vibration, change how you look at things. When you are letting go of stuff, it has nowhere to live. When you are, cleaning out the closet and you empty it out, there's no place for it to hide. So that's why it's important to go into yourself and do your healing and find where you have these things holding you. It's like the chains that bind you. The Christmas Carol is just, to me, it's the best Christmas story. It's just the best living story. And so you got to remove these chains that bind you and let go of your past, let go of your anger, let go of your resentment, all that stuff. Otherwise, you're feeding the beasts that are attached to you. So she said how to kill them because she said that she did that. So she said it was something, she was feeling good for a couple days, and the thing, her attachments wouldn't stay with her. They kind of go into the shadows when she's feeling good, or they'll sit there and try and create you to sabotage and stuff. So they'll feed you information, to keep you where they want to keep you. And so she was recognizing this, and there's something about it came in, and so she was feeling light, and that would repel it. And so she told it to come closer. And she said no matter what she would say, it had to do what she said. This is where I say, like, this energy is mindless. It is not manipulative, like people try and label it as demons and shit. No, it's almost pitiful, like, really. It's because, a conscious being takes responsibility for itself. It's living off of an unconscious being. And, which becomes a part of the unconscious being. And so she said it was trying to go, and she kept pulling it closer. She was saying, no, come closer, come closer. And the more it would come closer, the more she would beam her light out. And she would focus on love and happiness and all that stuff, to the point where it started, like, evaporating. And she said, I don't know if I killed it or whatever, but it went away. And to me, what I'm saying is, what you want to do is work on your, not just an artificial, oh, I'm happy today. No, you got to work towards letting go of things to find that happiness all the time. As you do that, the energy automatically becomes uncomfortable. It automatically starts falling away. It will go to the next source that will feed them. And right now, there's a lot. I'm sure there's a lot of fucking swapping around these dark energies right now because it's so intense right now. But you don't have to do all, to me, I mean, that's why you got to go out and listen to all these different people all the time to give you different perspectives, because that may all of a sudden be like, oh, okay, that's how I understand life too, so I'm going to do it this way. We all have different understandings. We all have different perspectives. And although that we all have very unique and individual, there is an overall, like a tribe mentality. It's like how I see it is like the organs of the body. Like you have a group that is in alignment with you. And so that group is carries the same kind of vibration. And so you have people who you're on the same wavelength. You get what they're saying, they get what you're saying. And so and that is important, to find people you're in alignment with. And otherwise, you feel out of sync and out of sorts with everybody, like how this is, all these people. Like it's always like the crowd over here that all agrees, and then this weirdo over here who's like, no, it's this, it's that. It's like, so anyways, but to me, it isn't like to pull in that energy and make it evaporate and stuff like that. It is more, you just work on you. It's like you clean up your house, and it's like getting the dust out of the corners. There's nowhere for it to go. It's uncomfortable. It has to go find a new home. So it will let go of you because you're not feeding it. So it's not, you can just do it in a natural way and recognize when those voices come in, those impulses come in to direct you in a negative way. And that's when you start recognizing the energy. Oh, okay, I see you. I hear you. Start catching it. So it's like you hear their voice, you hear their imprint, you can differentiate them because, you know, you have all this stuff going on, but you have to slow it down and start paying attention and start deciphering what all's going on. And so anyways, I just thought that was really interesting because how much I've talked about this. And then I heard her saying something that was so similar. And it's like, I don't know this girl. Like, to me, it's confirmation of, see, I know I'm not crazy. I know I'm saying the right stuff. And right now, it's a lot more of, you know, just me on my own out there saying this stuff. And I run across random people for confirmation on something. And, you know, you totally are putting yourself out there saying it. But it is, and I think a hard thing too is, you know, when you keep saying this stuff and then somebody who just figured it out, you know, and they get all the attention. It's like, oh man, I've been saying this and saying this. What does anybody listen to me? And that is, you know, I'm sure it's part of the ego work and stuff to be like, okay, you don't have to be heard. Remember, it's a ripple effect. Remember, you know, you don't have to have a recognition because, oh yeah, see, she said it, you know, but you do look for those things of like, you know, some sort of acknowledgement or appreciation or something. But, you know, you can't be why you're doing something. You have to let go of that. You got to have the right reasons why you're doing something. Your intention's got to be clear and clean. And the intention has got to, you know, to me, is, you know, it's got to be the overall general of just putting the information out there. But it, you know, it doesn't have to just be like where, I don't know. There's just the whole thing of being called crazy for so long, and then being, you know, set back in the corner, and, you know, talking to a few of you guys, and then you see these other people, you know, saying the stuff that, I don't know. There's something to it that it's, you know, it's just part of, I don't know, stuff I got to go through. Like, I'm going through a lot of stuff right now. Like a lot. You know, I'll tell you one thing too, is no matter what a situation is, you have to still use your boundaries. No matter, you know, and sometimes people who have got the most problems will push on the hardest. And that, you know, you can feel really bad to push back. Be like, nope. And so, you know, it can bring a lot out in you. It can bring a lot of like, oh my God, this is not, you know, this is not how I want to live my life in chaos and stuff. So, but, you know, there's a defining of, you know, what it is you want. And I don't know, you know, we got to see how this all goes down. You know, there's a lot going on, that's for sure. And I just saw, because we were in these fucking weird-ass weather storm things. And then I just saw somebody saying, well, it's not over. We got a huge storm coming in on the coast over here. Like, I don't know, one of those big swirly green things. So I don't know what they're going to fucking call it. I just saw over on the pass, which I'm assuming was Sonoma or Snoqualmie Pass. It could have been Stevens. It could have been over by Mount Rainier. But I am feels positive it was the one of Snoqualmie coming out of Seattle. And all the truckers are stuck. It's total ice. And they put up a sign that said that they're going to charge them $500 if they don't have chains. So this one trucker who was doing the video, he's like, I just got to get off the highway. He said, this is the life of a trucker. Just look at this shit. And there's all these trucks just sitting there. He said it's absolute chaos. You know, but see, that's a part of the creation. And, you know, after I had just said about going up to the food bank and Inslee being up there and only interested in the electric carports and stuff. And now all of a sudden we got that thing in the mail. We got email. We got all this stuff coming of, oh my God, all this stuff coming of, we need to send in how many people are in our house, what's our income, like a whole big old questionnaire thing. I'm not doing it. It's fucking bullshit. They're not, the whole thing is bullshit. All of their stuff, all their tracking and stuff, all their games, it's just always nonstop fuckery. So I don't even know, you know, what it is they're looking for. Probably trying to figure out, like, how to contain us or something. Who knows? Let's see what she's doing. Hold on. It's going to be Jack, too. So can I finish what I'm doing before we start all this, please? Sometimes the noises and stuff, the faces she makes cracks me up. Can we please wait until I get finished doing this? Can you wait over here for Mama? She loves to be dramatic, I swear. Everything smells weird, too. It smells so fucking weird. It smells weird outside. I woke up and I was all sweaty and I felt like I was sweating out some kind of weird toxin smell. I don't even know what the hell. And then all the clothes keep smelling weird because now whatever's going on with the water, I think it's, I don't know, did they add a bunch of chlorine because they added a bunch of dead people to our water and now they're like trying to cover up the smell or something? It's like, oh my God, this is so disturbing. And I feel like I need to take a shower because I just feel so sweaty and so like some other kind of toxins are coming out of me. And then it's like, oh, so now I'm going to go in the toxic wastewater to clean off, which even for the past few times when I've even done it, washed my hair, it keeps making my hair feel weird. So, man. And then we have this storm after storm after storm. And Still, can you please? You just have to go outside. Hold on. Just gonna, you guys just gotta be a part of my day. Start my day. Come on, big boy. Are you going? Are you going? What are you guys doing? Oh, God. So, anyways, get back to what I was talking about. So, the storms, weird smells, it's nonstop water. They're probably dumping dead people on us. They've got the pass, a frozen ice rink, and then we had this other storm coming in. Yesterday, it was just pouring and pouring and pouring. My whole yard was filling up with water. And the other day, when I left for a minute and went, and I'm gonna have to go get water. It's like every couple days. And then this morning too, when I did the thing, because it all of a sudden went off in the middle of the night and went to a commercial. And so then I went back on that one and then I went on to another one. If I put those times together, it's like, it's telling me that I've been asleep for like 10 hours. It's like, there is no fucking way. I think it's saying more like 11 or 12 hours. It's like, how is this going like that? How is these things going through the time, but then the time of the night isn't matching it? Like, it's so fucking trippy. And try them and see for yourself. And then maybe it's because I'm on the edge of this portal too. Because I know there's some kind of space, some kind of open space for travelers around me. Because there's way too much action always in my fucking hallway. And so, and everything moves through. It's like, it's like you got to think of it as it's not a solid. It is, okay, so say you took like a piece of gum, like you're chewing a piece of gum, and then you are chewing it and then you start pushing it with your tongue and make a thing. If you pulled it out and held it, it would have different places. It wouldn't all be just perfect. It wouldn't be all just, you know, like for even if you make a pizza crust or something, you know, I mean, you could just obsessively try and try and try, you know, roll it, make everything just exactly perfect. But, you know, things aren't meant to be perfect. But so so that covering, like if you look at it as like the gum, is like the firmament or something. There's weak places, and everything that you move through the universe is by your vibration. Your vibration is your energy. It's your propeller. It's where you are allowed to go is by your vibration. And so there's weak points. The thing about where we are right here is because we are in this, oh my gosh, this is in these spacesuits. Hold on. Okay, this is the last day. They're all gone after this. We're out of treats. Hear me? No more treats. They're all gone. It's crazy how we just keep running out of everything. It's wild. Like, I don't get it, man. I don't get how everything just keeps running out of things, but then the time is like, oh my God, it's still days and days. Still almost a week till I get paid. This is mental. Like, it will be Friday, but we'll see. See how fast this week goes. Now it's Monday, and there's a lot that can go on this week. A lot. Like, we've already, there's no telling. Because there will be more stuff, and it will be in all different areas. There's a lot going on in LA, I'll tell you, because they just got that serial killer guy who's killing the homeless, and then this lady who I just saw, she's a a van liver, and she's in town, I think, because she has to get something done on her car, so she's having to be in the city waiting for something to get done on her van or whatever, and so she's parked in Southern California, and she said this huge wreck happened. It woke her up, and she went out, and this drunk driver, it hit all these cars and flew over and hit into somebody's house. And so he got out of his car trying to leave, and she said he was so drunk. So she went out there because she was in her car and woke her up. So she went out there, and she stopped him and called 911, and she said he couldn't understand anything she was saying. He couldn't understand. She kept saying it like he couldn't understand English. And so it could have been, well, he couldn't understand because he was so drunk. But the way she kept saying it, I think she was trying to make sure to say, like, you know, this is, but there's so many immigrants always in Southern California anyways. So, but there's, you know, like I've been talking about, there's these instigators. They're creators of chaos, and they're all over the place, and they feed off of that dark energy, and they take money to feed off of that dark energy. And so, you know, essentially you could look at them as like they're the demons. They're the ones who are here to feed off of that dark energy, to feed that dark energy. And it's like selling your soul. They're doing it for money. There's a whole bunch of them. Like, this stuff keeps coming out. How in their countries and stuff, like there's the ads or something, you know, like, if you want a better life, come to America. They're giving away land. There's jobs galore and all that stuff. And then you see like a propaganda commercial in North Korea. And there's like the same ones that I had seen for China too, where they show like, oh, America, they're all destitute. They live in tents. This one video, this is a North Korean one, and it's their commercial to talk about how horrible it is in America. That everything that we get from North Korea. North Korea is keeping us alive, thank God. And that we mostly live in tents. Most of our tents have even got holes in them and stuff. That we're all, and we eat birds. And even in this ad, where it's like, you notice there's not a lot of birds. there's not a lot of birds out there because they eat them. You see those two over there? They'll be someone's dinner tonight. This is a commercial. And the voice is like, you know, one of reason, one of sanity and sadness. And so anyways, you know, all these different countries, they're all given propaganda. Like, we get propaganda on all this shit. I saw some cool ass videos besides the ones for Scotland and the ones for Romania and stuff. Oh my God, there is some that popped up on China. Oh my God, that fucking place is magic. Like, there's no motherfucking way that you could go there and see this shit and not realize that what the magic of this world. And I was like, when I saw some of these, they are like what are those things called? The 12 Wonders of the World or something. Like, these places seem like the wonders of the world. These places seem magic. And then there's so much crazy footage too of like crazy streets on the sides of these mountains and stuff. Like, it's intense. And but these colors and these buildings and garden, it's magical looking. I don't even know all the different places because there was a whole bunch. Just look up, Google like magic cities in China and see what comes up. It was fucking crazy. And it was, so I was thinking, you know, they keep the people super contained and controlled, and, you know, always having to, like, you know, like that one guy was saying, his apartment's like $2,000 a month, and he just gets to have like a dog crate in a hallway of an uprise, and he has to pay all that money to have that. And so they really, it's weird because they drive prices up, but then they make the people think that it raises the value, like, you know, if you can afford it, you're just so superior to these other people. So it creates this class division. So you think you're better than the other people rather than going, hey, you know, if we're not all moving forward, what are you guys doing? You can't be leaving them behind. There's no, you know, we haven't had that mentality because it's been a dog-eat-dog world where everybody's racing to the finish line, knocking people back in order to get there first because there's not enough to go around. And so they've created this division, this mentality of, you know, it's us against each other. Should be us against them, but it's us against each other. And then this hierarchy of who's better, and and then they give you these stereotypes of ways to divide, you know, to look at people who talk different or don't have as many teeth or whatever, to look down on them, that they don't have the same value. They've done it on people's skin color and stuff. And then when you see some of this stuff about how they choose, it's like they've been putting people in ghettos for centuries. Like, I saw what this footage was. I don't know. It could have been in Italy, could have been in India. I don't even know where it was. And it was these tall buildings going up, narrow roads, and people just out walking in the roads. It looked like the roads were dirt and stuff. The high rises just went up. Everybody's laundry and stuff's hanging out windows. It just looked like, you know, a high-rise ghetto. And it's like, look at how they have been making people live for so long. They draw them in, like, you know, there's good fortune, there's jobs, there's ways to make money in the cities when we didn't ever even need any of their money. And then the way that they've, you know, went in and taken land away from people. Like, I thought that was really interesting, as that girl saying that when she found out her family had owned this whole fucking mountain in the Appalachian and the government came in and took it. And back then, when the people were coming across, all those settlers and stuff in the Appalachian and the miners and stuff, they do not want these people who were independent. The attacks on the miners in those communities with the OP, so use those because, oh, well, these guys work so hard. They have so much pain. Let's try this. And then, you go watch those documentaries of who these people are who were pushing this stuff and who they were pushing it on. It was the decline of society. It was to take down certain independent cities to make people be more dependent. They want us to be dependent on them because then they are in total control. They are like the most toxic relationship ever. They do not want anybody to be doing better. They don't want you to feel better. They don't want you to have anything. So they just take things away, and then they make it be like where you don't care about what's going on with these people. They've been doing it to all these different indigenous tribe people for so long, taking away their land, taking away their rights, taking away their water, taking away their clean food. It's all is control and contain and create ghettos to contain people. I was saying, I wonder in China, even when they have all these magical places, and they're in these containment centers and these high-rise buildings, because there was even part where they were welding door shuts and shit. I've heard so many horrible things that have been going on there. So I don't know. I mean, you see videos like there'd be people going live in Tokyo walking around, and it'll look really cool, but there's definitely, they load way too many people into these places. And then there's been these weird things in China, even where they kept saying, well, there's too many people and you're only allowed to have one child. And then you had all these people who would go, if they didn't have a son, they would kill their daughter. And that went on for a while. It wouldn't surprise me if it still goes on. I don't know if they're allowed to have more kids now. And who knows if that was propaganda that we were told. And that they can have as many as they want. Who knows? How would we know unless we're there? And so all of these people who, are over there, even when you see this land and stuff, there's so much land. How in the world could they convince these people, you all got to be in these high-rise buildings, ignore the rest of the world? Even when you have these magic cities out there to go and see, like all this history, like you can tell other civilizations have lived here. But no, let's all jam-pack into this cement, concrete jungle. And, this is weird. This is really weird. Because, okay, so I've talked about this guy before. The guy who bought the A-frame it's a couple houses away from me. He bought this A-frame. And the people who had lived there, they were, always out yelling at their dog. All day long, they would be out there yelling, Raina, Raina. The dog was always escaping, and it was just strange. And so, and they didn't take care of their place, and it was obvious. And they had cut down their trees. I would imagine they would cut them down and they'd sell them, and then they'd live off that money, cut down another one and sell it and live off that money. And their yard just became like a a giant, like a stump cemetery with vines and shit everywhere. So he was cleaning all that up. So he's had all these excavators and stuff out there. It's been noisy, cleaning his stuff and digging out these stumps and flattening his property and all this stuff. But so then after they did all that, then they poured concrete. So his whole yard now is this giant, or asphalt or something, it's just giant parking lot. I even heard the guys who were out doing it saying that it's like a giant parking lot, which is so strange because you're in the forest and you have a parking lot in the forest, and it just makes you think about, the song, cutting down the trees to put in these parking lots. And his trees were already cut. He didn't have to cut down any trees. He just had to dig up things. So I just keep thinking how strange this is. And he's outdoorsy. He has a Jeep. He has like a Ski-Doo, but not like a small one, like a boat Ski-Doo or something, like a two-man, like a little mini boat or something. And I don't know, maybe he goes fishing and stuff. He's got a bunch of cars and stuff. So I was thinking, okay, it's got to be, surely this is a foundation. And he's going to put on a barn on this. Because why in the world would you dig up your yard in the forest and put a parking lot? Like, I mean, are you planning on having a lot of parties? Your house wouldn't even hold that many people. It's an A-frame. Like, I don't know. I guess you'd hold 6 or 8 car full of people or something. I don't know. The whole thing just seems really strange as you see this going on. And so now, it was finally sunny for a little while yesterday, so took the dogs out for a walk. I knew it was going to be chaos. I knew there was going to be other people. I was like, oh, there's a break in the weather. Let's go take the dogs for a walk. Because Stella's been sitting out on the porch pouting and whining for days about it. So I go take her, and I take them both. And these other people come out and start walking. This one was so strange. And I was thinking, are you even neighbors? Are you homeless people? Like, what is going on? So we're out walking, and they must have come out of their yard and went down. So they came out of the circle and went down towards my house. And so then I thought that they had gone, that they were gone now, and they went around. So I waited a while, and Stella wanted to turn around. So I waited a while, and they were gone. So please stop. So we start turning around to go. And mind you, I'm like 125 pounds, and I'm holding like 250 pounds of dog. And these two people is like this older, heavyset lady and this guy. And I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be mean or anything, but they seemed kind of drunk. And so then, and they have this little dog. It was small. Like, and people get so intimidated. And Stella wants to run over and greet everybody. And I was like, she's pulling as hard as she can to get over to them. I've got them on the side of the road, and I'm pulling because, so we start turning around and going back towards the house. And then they come back around the corner, coming back towards us. And I was like, oh my God, are you guys coming this way? And then they're like, yeah. I don't know if they said unfortunately or something, but the man kept being, I don't know, it was very strange. The whole scene, everything keeps being really weird. Every interaction with people keeps being so weird, man. And so, it's like we're all on different, I don't know, something weird going on. So they're coming towards me, and okay, lady, maybe she can't walk fast or something because, she's in such bad shape or whatever. And then, but I'm holding back these fucking, using my muscles and holding these dogs like I'm dug into the ground because I think I'm changing his name to Stanley. I keep trying to do it, to change it to Stanley because of Streetcar Named Desire, because he is pretty obsessed with Stella. And I just thought, oh, that just goes better together. And then plus, there's a lot of Stanleys that are kind of crazy, so it fits. So anyways, so Stanley Jack. So we were, he gets all excited. He goes wild, like, this is something new, exciting. She's signaling to him that, we need to get over there. So she will, stay a little bit more, like she'll be pulling and pulling. It's got to be hurting her muscles, how hard she's pulling me, because I'm still putting all my weight back. And then he's over jumping and going crazy, trying to twist around me and shit. It's just chaos. It's like these two people, you can see what's happening over here. I'm on the side of the road holding my dogs, trying to stay over here so you guys can go past. And you guys are just going so motherfucking slow. Like, what in the holy hell? It's just like, I'm just like, what is happening here? Like, if I was walking with my little tiny dog and I was about to pass these people with this big dog going crazy and this other little dog going wild, I would pick up my dog and I would go quickly past. I would see like, oh, let's diffuse this situation. Let's just scoot on by. Well, it took her a long time. I was sending out those fucking waves, I'll tell you what. Pick up your motherfucking dog, chick. What the fuck? I'm sending out those messages strong. And so finally she leans down and picks up the dog, which is like, that was difficult for her. I was like, what is your dog, 20 pounds? And so she's, whatever. It's a difficult thing of trying to get her dog. And this guy just seems to just be walking ahead. He didn't give a shit. He's just off, I was like, this is so weird. And so she gets him, but she doesn't speed up. She's not walking faster. She's just sitting there walking with her dog, just like, I was like, oh my God, lady, if you can't walk any faster than this, you need to get out and walk more. You need to do something. You need to, you know, limber up, do some movement or something. And just like Crystal said in the comments yesterday when I was talking about the dog and the younger energy gives us life, and how I think that that is a part of why they isolate older people, to get them into the space of death, to move them on, get them out of here. They don't want us to come back to life. They don't want us to feel good. And so many people just buy into that. But I think it has so much to do with the pain and the suffering that they carry inside. They haven't healed their wounds. They're just attached with a lot of dark energy. And so it just becomes their life. They become, you know, in the age, they become sicker, stiffer, not thinking as well. They're, you know, but they do it to themselves. This isn't a natural aging process. This is, it's like a path. It isn't what has to happen. It's what people choose. It isn't even choosing, because I don't think they're making choices. It's a development stage of not taking care of yourself, of not being more mindful, not knowing your own power, not understanding what this place is. My stomach's starting to growl, and not knowing what this place is and stuff. And so. And so, anyway, he hadn't gone potty in the house in a while, but you never know. Seems like he can hold it a really long time. But when I finish doing this, I always feed him breakfast and stuff. So, I don't know. Everything is antsy. Everything is weird right now. I'm telling you, it's so fucking weird. And this interaction over there was so weird. It was just, I don't know. It's just like you keep being around people. It's like your way. It's like in the Free Guy, in that movie, when he started waking up and interacting with the people who were still on autopilot, who were still in the game. Like in there, they show it that they are just like trapped in the game, like more of an NPC kind of concept. But actually, it's more of the people are trapped in their own minds. They're trapped in pain and suffering, and they're not releasing and moving up the Kundalini into their awareness, because you have to move through into your awareness. And this guy who was talking about this one thing with the Kundalini I had saw in this video, he said there's some kind of imaging that you can get done. And he went and got this imaging done of his chakra system. I don't know if it's like some sort of bio kind of thing that picks up on energy and light or something. Because there's a woman who I've talked about before who keeps doing all these visual things in the sky and all the stuff she can see. And she keeps trying to tell people, and she's getting nowhere on TikTok. And she said, you know, she's like, I'm not crazy. I'm seeing this stuff. Which, girl, I know. I know you're not crazy. I know this shit is out there. I know it's all around us. And I know you can see and feel by your vibration. You can hear by your vibration. And so she's going on YouTube now. She's given up on TikTok. So you can find her on YouTube. And I can find her name and stuff because she had sent me a link. Because she, you know, she just wants, you know, people who are following her to go follow. I don't think she knows, like, oh, I'm also a content creator, so I'm also doing my own content and stuff. But, you know, she's looking for people who are interested in her stuff. And a lot of her videos, it just looks like a lot of colors and stuff. But you can catch these shapes and stuff. I know exactly what she's seeing. Like, I can look at, she sees stuff in the sky all the time. A lot of people are. I see shit on the sky all the time. There's people see faces. There's all sorts of stuff. Because this world is not what they tell you it is. They put you on a board game and told you that that's all the world is. And so many people believe it. It's like, well, you'll stop believing it when you connect to your inside. So this guy who has done this chakra picture, he said his was just like a red burgundy like blob, he said, and his lower. So like from, I don't know, sacral down, he said it was just like this red. He couldn't make out any of the chakras. And he said his friend had done it, and you could see all of her chakras. So And then Vortex shared a link to a video of a guy explaining about these chakras. Hiya, Stanley. That this guy was explaining about these chakras, and that they have a number of petals, and so you add up these numbers, and when you get up to the crown chakra, it becomes 144,000. That's how many it adds up to when you add all these petals and stuff. And so that would be the creation of the 144,000. So the 144,000, because everybody talks about this. There's so many people who think there's just 144,000 people here that are going to move on. Like, there's literally people who think that out of, almost 9 billion people or something. There's 144,000 of them that are moving on. It's like, it makes so much more sense to me what this guy is saying about it is a number you reach in a vibration when you work. Stop it, dude. When you work up your chakras and you go up your chakra system and you get to the top, then you reach the 144,000. And you do have so much more awareness. You see more, you understand more, like a bit of, and I don't know everybody's journey to get there, because there's so much limitations that people have created for themselves. You got to work through your limitations. You got to work through your belief systems, your identity, what you believe this place is. There's so much stuff you got to work through that will, move you through the chakra system naturally. Like, I wasn't doing anything purposely. I wasn't like, okay, so now I'm going to take this on. It was all happening naturally. I just was, it was just healing. And, I started having this vibration, and then there was more stuff, and then I would heal that. And then it's when I got to the throat chakra one is when I started being like, oh, well, the heart one too. The heart one was there was so much vibration. There was so much going on with that one. And in that, where I started saying, dude, please stop. I started seeing that, it's hard to think when somebody's just, I swear to God, this is like where the dark energy is. The dark energy has control of these little, like, I just think that the dark energy is holding on to some stuff. And it's very disruptive. Like, it wants to keep us off balance. It wants to keep us upset. So anyways, I think there's stuff playing out in the physical with the dark energy having a hold on things. So anyways, I'm gonna have to be going in a minute. This is just wild. So disruptive. That's why I try and do this stuff before they get up, because it's just nonstop. And then that other person comes, it's just like, oh my God. So, in the chakra thing. So, my stomach is growling like crazy. So in the chakra thing, I was, just started healing. And then you go through, like when I got to the heart part, I think that is when I really started, understanding everybody has different perspective. I don't know. It was like there's certain lessons, there's certain things that become really crystal clear to you as you work through these different areas in your body. And I'm sure it has to do with the things you're holding on to personally. And so each person has their own stuff that they hold on to. So, and that's the stuff you got to process through. But that's where you got to see, like, life is way bigger than this one life that you are focused on. That's just your focus and hyper focus. Like, you got to step back, step back, step back. What does it all mean? What am I doing here? What is this place? And what makes sense? And so everything they say doesn't make sense. And even when you try and point that stuff out, people just don't listen. So, but when I started working up into the throat chakra and I started doing this, and I don't remember, like, I'd have to go back and watch all the videos. I know I was talking about it though, and sometimes it would feel like I was getting stabbed in the throat. Like, that still happens now, but it was a lot more felt like there was a lot more, there was a lot of stuff to speaking your truth. Different things will happen, different, one of the things on speaking your truth, it was having confidence in yourself, that when people come at you and that you don't, you don't shut down. You continue to chug along. You continue to stay defined in who you are, not letting other people's view interfere with your own. And speaking your truth and being truthful to you, knowing your truth. Like, there's multiple layers to all of it. And you don't have to go public speaking your truth. It's not like you have to in order to go through your throat chakra, but you got to speak the truth, your truth, to the people around you. You got to be honest, and being honest, it takes, getting over being vulnerable, because everybody is in a protective state of mind. They protect themselves, they shield themselves, they use tools as weapons in order to keep themselves safe so that they don't feel beat down and judged. Those are things that you got to get over. So those things will come up while you're working through the chakras in different instances and stuff, to help you go through it or grow through it, or to recognize and to see what you're doing and stuff. So it's all a process. It's not something that's just like you wake up and you think, oh, well, I have a throat chakra, so I'm going to, now I'm going to open my throat chakra. Or if you're going to go in and open your throat chakra, then you're going to start going through things. And, to me, it was definitely a part of it was learning to trust my own self in what my view was and what I saw and thought. Because I was going through that in 2020 on Twitter. That was like my testing ground. Because I would say things, and then I would have these people come in and, I don't know, you get a lot of attacks and stuff. And it's like, could you hold your own, or do you, just go hide in the dark? Go, so, okay, forget it. Sorry, didn't mean to bother you. Dude, will you please stop? God, he is the most pestery. Like, it's so crazy. It just doesn't stop. Anyways, and he was not itching before. This nonstop itching. I tried to give him a bath the other day. Oh my God, it was he went into hysterics. He freaked out like he's never. But I did find that the squirt bottle is effective in getting him to stop biting. That is like, he does not like that. But he does not like baths either. He does not like to go out in the rain. But now he's got all this itching and itching and itching. And he didn't come with itching, which to me has got to be something that we're being sprayed with. And so the vets had told me before with Stella and Winston that because she had said, the environmental toxins can cause allergies, so you should try and give them a bath. I was like, I'm gonna get this almost 200-pound dog to climb into the bathtub and give it a bath. I've had to take her to some bath places where they can walk into them and stuff. A couple times I did it. My daughter's, when she had a walk-in shower, like, if there's a place available, they can wash her. But also, it's like, deers and stuff, they don't have to go get washed. Cows, we don't have to give them baths. It's like, animals have a certain way, but I think that they are spraying them and stuff. They're legitimately killing the animals right now. They're killing our pets and stuff. They're killing us, they're killing our pets, they're killing our family members. And there's a big thing going on right now. It has to do with something in New Zealand and something about a whistleblower and bringing the truth. There was a whole huge thing of them trying to arrest him. I don't know what is going on, all this stuff, but there's a lot that is about to come out or something with all of this. And it is, there's going to be a lot of stuff where people are realizing that they killed their family members on purpose. And so we're going to head right into that, like what I had said. Like, that will be, to me, whenever I have looked forward to all of the stuff, that is always where I see the biggest reaction. That's always where I see the most anger. God, I can even feel it. The most anger and sadness is going to come from people losing their family members and realizing that Oh, because this is a big one. This is a big case too that's going on. Is a doctor who's arrested, and he made like $17 million because of how the system works. A doctor can label you, give you a diagnosis, and put you on something. He gets a kickback. So he was getting a kickback, and there's big kickbacks on chemo. And he was getting, so he diagnosed all these people. Everybody had cancer, everybody had cancer. And he was treating people for cancer they didn't have. They were all on chemo. And so he was killing people. A bunch of people died. And so that is coming out at the same time. So there's going to be all of these releases, like he's going to jail, and there's tons and tons of people who are very upset. Their family members died, they didn't have to, and there's going to be so much more of that. That's one doctor. That's one. You just wait and see. And there's going to be a lot of doctors who are going to go down. Like, I don't know if this guy, if this was just a part of the awakening ceremony, and so they're like, okay, well, he's getting, I don't know, whatever it is, 400 years, 40 years, or whatever. But a lot of these people are going to get the firing squad is going to be the ultimate thing, because this is going to be serious. This isn't going to be, there's going to be no joke kind of shit. This isn't going to be like we're going to fill prisons up and have all these people in prisons because they don't know how to behave. No, this is going to be a cleaning out. This is like dark energies going, good energies coming. And there's going to be something. I bet you there's something about this quantum computer that can read your vibration. And for people who cannot get their vibration up, who can't heal their stuff, it's not like they're going to put them to death. But, if you're in prison and you're trying to tell them, oh, yeah, I'm going to do better, and they can read you off of this and see, like, no, he's lying. He has no intention of doing better. He has every intention of going and getting even. Then there's going to be something more. It's not going to be the same system how it's been. And there's going to be, we're moving into clean energy. Is a harmonious time. The pegs that are in the way of the wheel, the nails that are in the road, those things are not going to be there anymore. We're cleaning that shit up. And so all the things that are there to create chaos and live off chaos, there will be no place for them anymore. And so these storms are clearing out. But we got to go through this, we got to go through the storm, because you got to think about micro, macro, and the storm that is coming with these people who are going to go through, who have had loss, family members, kids, and then to realize that they didn't have to go through that. That never had to happen. These people are doing this stuff on purpose. That is where shit is gonna, to me, that's where things are gonna really become violent. There's gonna be, the money thing will be one thing, but yeah, killing people's kids and family members, even parents. There's a lot of young people whose parents have died, and they're, all these different things, these really huge, impactful things are to get us to have reactions. And there's going to be big reactions. I really see it as there's going to be like, hospitals that are blown up, pharmacies, doctors will be hunted down. I think even Cliff, what's his name, had said that he was saying in the energy thing that he was seeing, I think in 2024, he said that people are going to hunt down doctors and stuff. Like there's some of these people who are going to be in very much danger. This is going to be very dramatic. Like 2024 is going to be, the positive thing is people will be aware. We won't be having these same jacked up conversations where you say something and people are just like, you're crazy, you're crazy, you're crazy. It's like they're going to start seeing the truth. And the truth is going to make itself seen in a dramatic way. Like I still, something big is coming. There's so much, it's like mainstream now. There's multiple suns, there's multiple moons, there's all these lights going in the sky, there's these portals opening, there's all this shift happening. I saw the coolest ass video yesterday. There's a couple of them. And if you're on TikTok, go to Conscious Juice, Joose. He does a lot of really cool videos. But this video was like, you would think it was like the Aurora Borealis, but it's like, is otherworldly. Look, the colors in the sky are out of this world. It is not just like the Aurora Borealis. This is like our world is changing. Our world is opening up. And even this guy, he was seeing splits where you could see other things. And he was showing these videos, and he just was like practically gasping through it, just like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And the colors, oh my God, like magenta and fuchsia and these beautiful, intense greens and blues. Like it's beautiful. And I've seen a couple of different videos of this. So there's got to be a bunch everywhere if you just look up. Like I've said a bunch of times, go on these different platforms and look up sky videos. And it's just crazy, this stuff. Like there's going to be no denying. And all these things are going to keep playing out of where this world is going to keep falling apart. All these things, because this isn't a real world. This is a false reality. It's a fake matrix. I mean, it has a purpose and stuff. There's a purpose to all the things, but the way that the people think that this is all the world is, that this is real life, this is the world, in the way that they partake or participate in the world that isn't a real world. Like all of that has to shift, and people have to see the truth, but the truth is within. And just like that scientist who was just blown away because of the body. It has its own imprint. It has its own thing. You can't just put other parts in. Which, when he was saying that stuff, what do you think I was thinking about? What the fuck are they doing with all these motherfucking kidneys? Like, what the fuck are they doing with these motherfucking kidneys? Like, seriously. Why are they stealing all of these? Like, there's something weird about it. Especially when, and I had just said right before I saw that video a couple days ago, I said, I bet you that they're not really putting these parts in people. I bet you it's, there's something more going on that we don't understand. They can go in and charge these people. They can say that they need these parts or something, but, there may be some people who are getting these parts because, we're in a Frankenstein fucking movie. But, I know, what did I just see on that? Because it was something about, they broke into a place. They got into a place. It was some kind of science thing, a science lab thing. But then they found, this was a bus that was done on, it was a mortuary or something, human parts. It was like a chop shop. And this one policeman who was going through it and stuff, he said there was like buckets of heads, buckets of penises, like all sorts. He said so disturbing. He said like one, they found the wrong head sewn on the wrong body, like Frankenstein and stuff. Like, they've been doing this shit. There's all this stuff of them trying to splice things together, even putting these different beings together, because they think like the Lemurians or whatever, they seem like they're half animal and half human, but that's not the way it is. These people who are trying to do these science things and create these creatures you're not doing it. There's nature and there's artificial. Everything they're doing is artificial. And, a being that seems like it looks like a lion, but it's actually a humanoid with lion face and stuff like that. It's environmental. It's like, it's what works for the environment, wherever they are, wherever they're from. You become what works best in your environment. So, like, there's footage like right now too of people in the ocean. This to me is horrifying. Like, ocean stuff freaks me the fuck out. And I've always known that there was beings and creatures living in the ocean. I've always known that. And there's this guy is like a fisherman or something out on this boat, and these two start going with him. They're pacing him, He's got going 65 miles an hour, and these two things are swimming right next to him. And he keeps showing and trying to show like what they are, but they're going so fast you can't see. You just see these things swimming really quick, but no fins are coming up or anything. And they're doing it with intelligence, one on each side, which there's a lot of intelligent things that are going on with orcas and dolphins and shit right now, and whales and all the different animals. There's animals that are going into the street to stop cars, to get humans to follow them, to help their gang or whatever, to help their baby, like all sorts of stuff. And so this guy is on this boat, and these two things are going with him, and he keeps showing and keeps talking to him and stuff like, what are you? What are you doing? And stuff. Then there starts being these sounds, which would be, to me, the sirens. As the sirens would lead the boats into crashing. And they probably, because they would eat them. There was an attack of a boat, I think it's a military ship or something, that happened. I think it was like in the 40s. And they got attacked by these water being things. And I'm pretty sure that these things will eat you. And so anyways, but they used to cause like shipwrecks and stuff. And so they're going really quick with him, and they're start doing these sounds that they sound otherworldly, and they sound like, what you would assume sirens sound like. And so he's like, what the fuck? What is that? And then at one point, let's see, because I don't think he stops the boat. I think the boat keeps going. But he's like over at the edge. Well, I would not get that close, because in the fucking thing over in the 40s, the things were able to come up over the boat and grab people out. There was all this witnessing by these witnesses that were seeing these creatures come out that looked kind of like human or something. And they would pull the people out of the boats. And so like, I wouldn't go close over to the over to the edge. But so at some point, he says something, and it sounds like one of them says jump, like they're trying to get him to jump into the water. It's very creepy, but that's where people have got to learn to respect these other beings, these other creatures that are living here in this multi-dimensional world that you think doesn't exist around you, because you're only focused on the street view. You're focused on the concrete jungle that they give you. And when the whole world out around you is full of magic and portals and entryways, and there's all sorts of other beings living around us. And that's the ones that you can see. There's whole other ones that you can't see, that you have to change your vibration in order to see. So there's all these other ones. Like, there's going to be more. I think that was fascinating how they found that over on the ice wall. I think there's going to be more and more. We're going to see this world is going to really open up as we raise our vibration, as we are able to accept more information, as we're able to, understand that we're more than what we are. Because this War of the Worlds mentality, where they're scared of everything, everything's going to get them. Like, I see some of these people who are hyper religious, and the stuff that they say, and the fear, and is everything's a fear of the devils. It's the end of the world and stuff. And I'm glad that a lot of people are seeing like the apocalypse is the truth, is the ending of the lies. It's the beginning of the truth. So yeah, we're going through an apocalypse. We're going through an ending, the ending of a structured society that was based on lies, and we're moving into the new truth, the real truth, the open, you're a conscious being, you're angelic, you're a superhero. The only limitations that you have are the ones that you give to yourself. But then we also, have to keep learning and growing and expanding ourselves, because we are coming out of such limitation. And so, you can heal yourself. And that's a big one. It's going to be a big part of, Well, people went to Western medicine. They were going to someone else to save them. So right there, they put themselves out there to be killed because they're turning away from self and turning towards someone else. And this Western medicine would kill us all. Like and it's wild how you have all these ego-driven doctors who just test on us and they're okay with it. It's like they don't ever stop and question things. It's like part of the training for cops, part of the training for doctors, part of the training for lawyers. It's like an MK Ultra. It's like training them, just like what they do in schools with indoctrinating kids. And if you think that it's not working and you think that that is not real, it's quite clearly what they've been doing. I mean, you absolutely now have kids who think they're over the parents. And even it's in some new show called, I saw somebody sharing a clip of this show. I don't know, The League or something's coming to my mind. I think it's a kid sports thing. And the little girl is on the sports team. And this conversation with her and her dad, it's like they have made kids have no respect for anyone. We're all stupid idiots. They've got all the answers. Even the kid calls her dad a boomer. I told you that's just a derogatory term that they use. It's not just like the group of people what it belonged to, the baby boom generation. No, it's just an overall anyone who is older who doesn't go on the narrative. You're just a boomer. You're just, you're just an old boomer. You don't know what the fuck. That was all indoctrinated. That was all pre-planned. I could see it coming in The Simpsons. I saw the way that kid talked to his dad, the way they played that dad off to be such an idiot. I could see where they were how they were shifting society. There was all these signs were always around us for people who were paying attention. You could see. Like, I knew that they were doing that. I knew it was very different than Ozzie and Harriet. They're raising us on fucking Ozzie and Harriet, Father Knows Best, Brady Bunch. That was like getting a little wild out there. These two families combining. And then how many of us were like, we're pairing up these two. Oh, Jan should marry Peter. And, it was some funky stuff. They started turning society like this, blending this family where these three beautiful boys and these three beautiful girls become siblings, but they're not really siblings. And so, I don't know. There's always this manipulation going in our society of getting us to, and then on top of that, they would be releasing other information, just like how the awakening is occurring. It's like a soft open. This is like stuff that they used on us. So I think that's why it's being used against them, and they're still continuing this stain. I bet you he's got my shoe or something when he's chewing on. No, he's got a toy. He eats the toys too. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to get a bunch of new toys. He eats them. Stella gets so upset because these are her babies, her toys that she's had for her whole life. She doesn't eat them. And then he goes and eats them, and she'll sit there and cry. She'll get very upset about it. He's destructive. So, anyways, I'm getting to the point of stopping now. So, but it is kind of like what they're doing still on this soft open for us. It's like, it is a little thing here, a little thing there to slowly get you to it's like a natural thing that people's brains are doing. It's not anything that has to be forced. The thing that I would say that you would need to force through this is to, really focus on your releasing your pain and releasing your suffering, especially because there's so many people who are trying to lead people to not do that. Ignore it. Ignore the things you don't like. Hide these parts of yourself and stuff. No, you got to do the opposite. You got to recognize these parts of yourself so you can release these parts of yourself. You got to be willing to put yourself out there. Be willing to be vulnerable. Be willing to, but it's a journey to learn to love oneself, to get to the point of like, you know, you love yourself and you appreciate yourself. And then plus there's a huge part as you move through this chakra system of understanding everybody has their own perspective. Everybody, like I keep saying, we're individual cells. We're meant to all have individual perspective. There's a reason we all have our own codes. There's a reason we all live different lives in different times. We are the motion, we're the action, we are the development of the universe. And so the more that you can go in to yourself, and if there's something you don't like about yourself, that is your opportunity to heal it and change it. But to recognize the significance of you and the importance of you, once you realize the significance of self, then you can share and put yourself out there and be like, well, this is how I see it. This is what I see. This is what I recognize. And, you don't have to be appreciated by everyone. Like in this, you end up finding people who also recognize and see the things that you see. That also have similar experiences and stuff. It is like that the moving of our vibrations, moving together, so that people who you jive with start being who is surrounding you. It's like we're moving out of this danger field, is what I heard. But it is like the same kind of thing. Like I'm walking, and this woman has this tiny little dog that she could, pick up the pace a minute and get past me real quick. In like 2 seconds flat, she could be past me, but no. Let's not do that. Let's not even have your husband pick up the dog. Let's just have him move, just walk on ahead where he just seems like blank stare, like, are you drunk? What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? And her, I don't know if it's just her sickness, and because I doubt, I would say she's maybe 45, 48 years old, and she's out there, obese, can't move around very well and stuff. And in obese, you can look at it in different ways. Everybody has a different image that pops in your head when you say obese. And I would just say in a weight where you can't move around good anymore, just consider yourself obese if you are having problems with your movement. So, I don't know her body structure. I don't know how much extra weight she's carrying. I don't know her BMI or any of that shit. But, when you see her and you see her struggling and walking, and, she's not, I don't know, it's strange. And it's just these strange interactions. Like it would take you 2 seconds to pick up your dog and to, hurry past this one little part so that I can keep going. Instead, I've got to sit here, over here, hold it, and like, I don't know. It was wacky. It was just really strange. And yeah, people don't have to do things to accommodate you, clearly. But it's just also a part of like, a protection of your own dog if you really are in fear of, because they were on the other side of the road. I was clear over here on the other side. But, Stella will yank and she will go running over. And she doesn't want to do anything. She's the one who's always getting attacked by this stuff. And she freaks people out. They get so scared of her. So she goes charging over to them and barking. She's barking because she's warning them. She's always warning them. She's a guard dog. But then she has to go over and she just wants to smell them. And then after she smells them and she wants to interact with the dog, they always want to smell each other's butts. I think that they are trying to see, like, get the scent of who you are, put it together with your voice, and then they'll go out and they'll talk directly to other dogs. Like, they're not just out barking at nothing. Dogs are communicating with each other. Like, go out and listen when you hear dogs barking. And you'll hear them, and you can pick up on different pitches and different, like, like you can hear. They're communicating. Like anybody who thinks that dogs don't have a real communication, I think is missing out. I think that not only do they have their own communication, but they're so smart enough to be able to stop biting me, that they're smart enough to be able to become bilingual and adapt to our communication. Okay, he's just so wild. So anyways, I think if there was anything else. I didn't even know what I was even going to be talking about today. Did I even cover all the stuff that I was thinking about? I don't know. So anyways, to me, there's a lot of stuff going on, and anything can happen at any minute. And I don't know how it's all going to go down. I don't know if the sky is going to suddenly open and we're going to see the truth. Like, it seems like to me still, the money's going to crash, the government's going to crash, the medical's going to crash, all this stuff, and it's creating all this energy at the same time. Is our energy, our awareness, our awakeness is what is creating this magic around us. So there's going to be more and more magic, more and more. It's just going to be more and more and more, and to the point where everything flips, and all of a sudden we find ourselves in the magic world, and the dark, dirty world is a thing of the past. And so I think that comes with the solar flash, but I don't think, there's all these solar flashes happening. There's all sorts of stuff. There was some big ones that happen, and they keep being big ones. The people who follow Schumann resonance and that are watching all of these solar flashes and stuff, they'll talk about them like they're really big. People are getting dizzy, so you got to just keep, taking care of yourself through this, because this is not ending until it's the end. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep picking up speed. And there will be a flipping where I think for those of us who have the awareness where we're feeling so stagnant, that then when it flips, it's going to change for ours. It's going to open up, an energy for us, because we're already focused on that energy. So there will be an opening up of magic for us or something. Whereas the other people then will just start their journey towards healing. But those of us who have been on this journey, we will be like role models to them to see yeah, see, this world is magic. This world is different than what you think. And it's going to be impactful for the rest of the people to start waking up and seeing what this world is really about. So anyways, there's a lot of stuff being said, a lot of stuff. People are there's demons coming, there's angels, there's battles, there's the world is ending, there's we're gonna all be in camps. There's all these things being said by all these different people, and everybody who says them, they are so sure. And just like I feel so sure about what I say, and I'm sure we all can go find evidence or things to confirm what we're saying, just like me seeing that girl talking about that, or science, all the confirmation I'm always getting on my stuff to me. But it is but we're all here for different reasons too. Not everybody's going to have the same stuff. Not everybody has to have the same vision as I do. But I just see that this is an evolution that is occurring, moving people who are move towards enlightenment, move towards the spiritual side of life. That it's going to be, we're moving into a magical part where we get to then be in sync with the magic. So we get to live in a magic world full of magic once you know you're a magician. So anyways, just, keep going. Who knows what, when they're saying and tell your parents in Georgia and stuff to get flashlights and candles, and they're icing over the roads here and holding the truckers up on the fucking mountains. And I saw this one trucker who he pulled over this guy was a truck who was driving, and he had no rear lights, and he was almost causing so many wrecks. People were almost hitting into him, where these truckers pulled him over, told me he couldn't go. And I'm pretty sure he can speak English. I don't know. It keeps seeming like there's a lot of these strange interactions that are happening of, but to me, those are the things that are there. There's this instigator energy, even if they don't all speak different languages. There's definitely ones that were brought here to fill that energy, but there's other people who are just not doing their healing. They just feed off they don't feed off the dark energy. The dark energy feeds off them, and the dark energy manipulates them, and it feeds their impulses. And so, yeah, everybody's got to get a handle on themselves. And remember, this is a mastery. You can master your emotions. You can master your perspective. It's all a mastery. It's all a confirmation. It's all you working towards yourself. And don't be intimidated. And just because things are hard doesn't mean you shouldn't do them. And to me, you need to do something that makes you uncomfortable every day. You got to do. You got to do something that takes you out of your comfort zone, because that's how you grow. That's how you evolve. You know, you don't evolve just playing it safe and staying the same and don't doing anything, keeping the same people around you and stuff like that. No, you evolve, you grow by expansion, expanding yourself, expanding your views. You know, just start reading books and stuff that you never thought were interesting before. You know, go and see. Now, do I find this interesting? Now, how do I see this? And, you know, see what your guidance, see what your internal, your not the programs you're running, but your truth, the truth of you. You know, it's a journey. It's a journey to the truth. So anyways, this is just way too chaotic. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.